going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Eat your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? Part 2 Saturday. Hope you guys are still doing well from what, 2 hours ago? Yeah, I wanted to do a live before I took the night off. So I told you guys I would, and I am back. Yeah, I am doing better. Just a lot of stress going on right now. So just a lot of things going on in IRL. All right. Anyways, hope everyone's doing great. Got a great couple clips for you. Got a couple slow burners that don't get excited until the end. So be patient. They do get good. All right. Before I hit that play button, you already know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. And actually, before I say let's go, Stacy, thank you so much for the Cash App last night. You said it after the video was done, but I wanted to make sure to shout you out during the live. So thank you so much. If anyone else would like to donate, link trees in the description. At least I hope it is. Sometimes I forget to put it there. All right. Let's go.
30, we started at the beginning of the alphabet. For our 2 o'clock calendar, we'll start at the back. Give those folks a break. And Mr. Young's going, yes. Okay, Mr. Young, first time and last time. So don't think this will ever happen again.
Yes, I was born at the back of the alphabet.
All right, let me check your case here. You have a speeding in a construction zone ticket. We do not authorize deferrals for those tickets, just so you know. And did you read the officer's report?
I did.
Okay. If you'll raise your right hand for me, please. Swear that testimony in this case to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
All right, we're starting with a little traffic matter.
I'm going to read.
I thought there's a little bit of a pause at some point in this video, and I thought it was now. But this guy, he's a little bit entitled. He definitely thinks he's better than being in court right now. So, but yeah, this guy has a little bit of entitlement going on.
Trooper Neiman's report, and then I'll hear from you.
Okay.
You know, Judge Bryant likes to say, "Get out the bed, get out the bed." You know, we need someone to say, "Get out the space, get out the space." There's no space in Zoom court. How can you sit up when there's no gravity? Yeah, I told you there was a little dead time. Welcome, We're Sparta. Welcome, Heather. I hope you enjoy your walk. Oh, I do have a bonus clip. If there's time, I'll play it. But it's from this morning. It's a pretty bad case. Is that the gravity joke? It's floating through life. Hi, Erica. Hey, welcome. Glad you're here for your first live. Welcome. All right, shouldn't be too much longer. Judge just reading the facts of the ticket. I'm assuming. I know if I fast forward it now, I'm going to skip things.
All right, Mr. Young, go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Fairly simple. Driving up Interstate 5, cone showing that left lane's going to close. Going about 62 miles an hour, 65 maybe. There was a guy going about 50, so I went around him into the left lane so I could pass correctly. As I go to pass him, he accelerates. I decelerate. He accelerates. I decelerate. This goes on cycle of probably 3 as the left lane is now closing. I don't know what the guy's just fooling around, being a jerk. I don't know, whatever hard to say. I'm trying to get out of the left lane, but I don't have another choice. The guy finally lets me go out behind him. I slide over, and the trooper comes out and gives me a ticket and is telling me he saw the whole thing and that I should have called him while driving. You know, you'll see the rest of his things I don't believe are entirely accurate either. He was not professional or becoming of an officer. I'd love to expand on that, but I don't know if it's necessary.
Why does everyone seem to say that in court? Not everybody, but a lot of people say that. The officer was rude to me. Yeah, I mean, you're out speeding through a construction zone. Do you think he's going to walk up and be nice? I mean, construction workers get hit by cars a lot. So, I mean, I'm not going to say a lot, but the numbers are staggering. The numbers, when you see the numbers, it's just like, how? This is not good.
Yeah, what I'll say on that, when folks let me know that, is the way to report that is to contact their detachment and let their detachment commander know your thoughts about their professionalism.
No, I think it comes into play to say the inaccuracies in his report about me, what I was doing, and that I said nothing when he asked me. He, in fact, told me to shut my mouth or he'd arrest me.
Okay.
So I did begin to slow down speaking, which I was trying to give him a picture of what was going on, but he wasn't really listening.
All right. Yeah. What I read is he didn't say you said nothing. He said you said somebody was playing games with you and you were trying to get around them. And then he said that when he asked why you didn't exit the freeway rather than speed up to avoid this person, that you did not give a reason. He didn't say you didn't stop talking. He just said you didn't have a reason for why you didn't exit. So
I was in the left lane. There was no exit.
Okay.
So
Right,
I didn't
but
have a choice, trying to avoid the human being so that we could have a non-incident. I'm surprised that he didn't pull the other person over because they were going far faster than me.
Yeah.
As I go behind them, they accelerate away. And then he comes out to pull me over from the second lane or something a couple miles later. I'm not even sure that we were in the construction zone at the time of the alleged speed that he's trying to say. I mean, it was prior to the cones that the incident happened, but there was no. The other guy even slowed down, after he got closer because he saw the police officer on the left side of the road also. I tried to explain that, but either wasn't communicated or wasn't received.
Okay, so one way of interpreting the officer's statement is that you were a mile into the construction zone because you said the signs had been posted for the previous mile of the lane closure and construction zone. Are you disagreeing with that?
I have no idea. I requested information from the officer via email to no avail. Phone numbers to the detachment that you had suggested with no avail. And, I don't know the protocol of how soon they would put a cone out prior to an actual construction zone starting. You'd think they'd want the road closed prior to the construction zone, but that's not my field. I don't know.
Right. Okay. But I don't hear you denying the signs were up.
It didn't. I don't remember seeing a sign that said why, but there was a cone showing that the lane would close. So, you know, that's the difficult part.
Okay.
I'm trying to be extremely forthcoming, and I don't feel like this is representative of what was occurring when we were on the road.
Okay. Like I said, his statement says signs had been posted for the previous mile of the lane closure in the construction zone. So it would say construction zone, lane closed, or something like that. And do you think those didn't exist, or you're not sure if they existed, or?
It was relatively early in the morning. What I saw was the cone, you know,
Okay.
the cone starting to close the lane.
Right.
I don't recall seeing a sign that said anything.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I probably had an issue with this fella for a half a mile or so.
Okay.
Time enough to accelerate, you know, to 60 to 40, 40 to 60, you know, back and forth.
Right. Okay.
So at that point, I wasn't paying a lot of attention to the road signs. I was trying to safely get away from this person.
Mm-hmm.
And I went behind them. So I slowed down and went behind them. I finally slowed down to 35 miles an hour or something on the freeway in the left lane, just trying to do something. I was running out of road.
Okay. And when did you start seeing DOT workers?
I never saw a DOT worker.
Did you see a DOT truck out there?
I did see a DOT truck, 100 yards maybe in front of the officer's truck.
Okay. And where was the officer's vehicle relative to where you pulled behind the vehicle in front of you?
Half a mile down the road on the left-hand side. So the vehicle would have been between the officer and myself. So that makes me also question his radar, that he wasn't radaring me. I'm a professional pilot. I'm pretty good at judging speed and trying to figure out risk mitigation. So I was really surprised he pulled me over.
There it is. I've been waiting for that. I'm a professional pilot. I know exactly what I'm doing on the road. Not my fault at all. Yeah. I wouldn't say there's a little difference between flying a plane and driving a car. Just saying. I don't know. I've never flown a plane before. Gonna say they're a little different though. Really big difference in speeds though.
Okay. So you said the trooper was a half mile down the road when you pulled behind the vehicle that was problematic to you?
Correct.
And is that where the lane closed? Is right in front of where you pulled over? That's why you had to pull behind him?
Yeah, well, the lane closed and the initiation was, another probably a half mile of initiating that with a mile distance. So I got out of the lane maybe, half mile is only 3,000 feet. Oh, and to get over a lane, and then that's when this guy stomped on the gas and took off. I guess the game was over. So he was going to go back to whatever speed he was doing before. So that's what I was saying. I was ending up being not even in line of sight with the officer until I was lane 2, and then going about 60 miles an hour, resuming my day, thinking, well, okay, the other guy drove off.
Okay.
It's
All
over.
right. Right. Reading the ticket, it's a little unclear to me where you were relative to the actual start of the reduced speed zone out there. So I'll find not committed on the ticket for that reason. Thank you, Mr. Young.
I very much appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Tanya Thomas.
After all that, the ticket was dismissed. Yeah. I see that a lot when watching traffic court. There's just be a little detail that's missing from the ticket, and when the officer's not there, that's all you got. All right, next case. Let's go. Oh, yeah, this one's kind of tough to watch. Just to warn you, because this defendant, this woman's in a really tough spot, and Yeah, she's got to make a really tough decision. When I say tough to watch, I don't mean it would be like if you were in her shoes, it'd be a tough decision. But I mean, not really. Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and call the case of People versus Lucretia Renee Stanford filed on the district court number 230504 FY1. It's the date and time of a scheduled plea. So Ms. Stanford is here by Zoom. Her attorney, Mr. Conley, is here by Zoom. All right, so this is pursuant to a remand from the circuit court. So Ms. Stanford,
and Your Honor,
she
may not
yes.
wish to take the offer, but I would hope that Your Honor could explain to her the difference between the plea offer to a misdemeanor and pleading guilty to delivery and manufacture a 20-year felony, so that Ms. Stanford, and I'm not the only one explaining to her the difference between a 1-year misdemeanor and a 20-year felony.
Okay, so
Isn't that special? I hope you're having a better day today. And yeah, you're welcome for last night. I'm sorry I was in such a bad mood last night. We both had a night, but you had a bigger reason for a night than I did. All right, so this is this lady's defense attorney, and he's already off to a rocky start in my book. He should be explaining all this stuff to her. The judge, that's not what he's there for. That's why she has an attorney. But you'll find out what's going on.
Ms. Stanford, this is a beneficial and frankly, to me, it seems like an incredible plea offer that Mr. Conley's worked out here for you with the prosecutor, because use of a controlled substance is a 1-year misdemeanor, and can't guarantee it, but you'd likely end up on probation here with therapeutic resources that you may need, all right, and would involve no further jail. And I can't guarantee probation. It could be that maybe there's no substance use disorder and there'd be no probation and just credit for time served. But that would be, either one of those be a really good result, ma'am, or an incredible result, as opposed to being convicted of a 20-year felony delivery of less than 50 grams of fentanyl. So, I mean, fentanyl is a dangerous substance. It's we've had a lot of overdose deaths in this community. And I know that if you got convicted, I don't know the sentencing guidelines here, but I'm guessing on this, it would be a prison sentence. So, I mean, there's a huge difference between being convicted of the 20-year delivery felony and the use. Now, you don't have to accept the plea offer, but hopefully you can see the huge benefits to accepting the plea offer versus being convicted in circuit court of the 20-year felony. And again, I can't and won't talk you into doing this, but those are the significant differences that I see. So, but do you have any more questions about the offer, Ms. Stanford?
Okay, so if I take the plea deal, would I have to testify against my co-defendant?
I don't
Yes.
see that in the.
Yes, he just said yes. You said no. I don't know.
Yes, Your Honor. Part of the reason for the remand offer was that she be willing to offer truthful testimony in the event she's required to. Now, I don't know that she's going to be required to, but that would be part of the deal. So,
yeah, so that's often the terms of any deal in a case like this, ma'am. And like Mr. Conley said, it may turn out that your testimony would not be needed, and you wouldn't have to testify. And so I don't know. I don't know anything about the facts of the case, but you may not have to. But on the other hand, if the prosecutor wanted you to, then you'd have to, and your testimony would need to be truthful.
Okay,
and Your Honor, this might be, Ms. Stanford, it might be wise to have this hearing in person so you can be in the courthouse with me and go over these issues again instead of being on the phone with I don't know who outside of the courthouse. I don't know who's in the car with you or who's around you, but I'm going to guess you're not alone. So how about we schedule this for an in-person hearing, Your Honor? Is that an in-person,
I'm
please? She
with
may
my sister. We was grocery shopping. I'm in the car with my sister. Yeah,
Okay.
I am. But
All
we
right,
was out grocery
but
shopping.
I'm just thinking perhaps being in person in the courthouse. You still don't have to take the plea, but I just want you to make
I want to
sure
take
I'm
the
talking
plea.
to.
Like, I got kids. Of course, I want to take the plea. It's just, I don't know how stuff will play out. Like, if I don't know.
So, Your Honor, can we?
You guys understand what's going on? The plea deal the judge just said she would probably end up on probation, but she would have to testify against, I think they say her cousin. I think she said her cousin. But so testifying against your cousin, who essentially you might be putting away for a long time. So that's where she's conflicted. Take the plea deal, get probation, or go snitch on your cousin and send them away. It's going to be an awkward family reunion. But I mean, she just said she has kids, But at the same time, you did it. I mean, she's not saying she's innocent. She's not trying to fight it. All right, well, that's what's going on.
Can we schedule this in person, Your Honor? That's fine, Ms. Stanford, but I want you to make sure you know what you're doing here. Like, it can't be a half.
It's her husband? Oh, wow. I missed that. I think she said co-defendant, and I thought she said cousin. Her husband. Wow. Wow. I mean, if I were her husband, though, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take this. You raise our kids. I would say take the plea if I was the husband in this situation. Otherwise, you're both going to jail.
A halfway, okay? Because it could come back to get you if you don't comply. So you need to really understand the gravity of the situation here, and that's what I'm hoping you do. So, Judge, is it okay to schedule this for an in-person plea?
Sure, we can do that if that's what Ms. Stafford wants to do. I mean, if she wants to plead guilty here right now, we can do that too.
I know, Your Honor.
I'd rather come in person and talk to him again.
So I just would rather she be there, Your Honor, because I want to make sure she understands exactly what it is that.
Sure, that's fine. So we'll adjourn today's proceeding. We'll reschedule it for an in-person proceeding. And do we have a date for that then, Ms. Seifert?
Let's see.
Let me see my schedule.
We can do next Thursday, the 29th.
That's fine
at
with me.
9:30.
Ms. Stanford, can you make next Thursday?
Yes, next Thursday, the 29th. That's a Thursday, yeah.
Okay, so that'll be at the original courthouse, okay? Not the red brick one, but the first one. You probably actually have never been to the courthouse because everything was on Zoom. So it's not the same building, same parking lot, but different courthouse, main floor, okay? And I'll meet you there.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate the opportunity.
Right. Thank you again.
All right. So you're all set, ma'am. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
You can lead the proceedings. Thank you.
Yeah, we are Sparta. You are correct, but if it's part of the plea deal, I don't know. I think you waived that. If it is husband, I thought it was cousin. Who knows? Who really knows? But she obviously is afraid of, snitching on somebody, which, she is. She can be afraid of that. But, anyways, let's move on. All right, next case.
This is cause number 4A.
All right, this is the slow burn one that I was telling you about. I probably should have fast forwarded the first half of this. This doesn't get good. Why do I keep saying get good? It always sounds funny. It sounds like I'm a kid playing a video game. Get good, noob. All right. Yeah, so this one gets good at the end. I said it again.
0208716. This is on for arraignment. It's an allegation of violation of an anti-harassment no contact order from an alleged incident date of January 30. I did have the opportunity to speak with him. We did go over the maximum penalty for the charge. We also discussed the rights at arraignment form, which I've uploaded, as well as a public defender screener form, which he would like the court to consider this morning.
We'll be right back.
They can. It's not that they can't. They're not required to, and they can waive the spousal privilege. They can do that. So if it is husband,
Sorry about that.
then
I had to deal with
he
some
might be
noise in the
required to
background
waive it.
over here. So Mr. Jensen, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
You're here for arraignment. So I do need to confirm with you this morning that Ron E. Jensen Jr. is your true name.
Yes, ma'am.
And I do see that it looks like you gave Ms. Pimentel permission to put an X on the signature line on the explanation of rights and explanation of rights arraignment form. Is that to let me know that you did in fact go over that form with
Yes,
her?
ma'am.
You do understand the document?
Yes, I do.
All right, very good. I also see that you wish to be considered for court-appointed counsel. Based on the information contained in that form, I will make a finding you do qualify at no expense. So,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. With regard to arraignment, Ms. Pimentel.
We've received a copy of the complaint. We'll waive formal reading and enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf.
Not guilty plea will enter. Court has previously had an opportunity to review the police reports, did make findings of probable cause. What is the city's request with regard to release and conditions?
City is requesting to maintain the $5,000 bail. City is concerned that Mr. Jensen is a danger to the community. Currently has a pending felony protection order violation and an assault charge. He also had an order violation conviction out of Nevada in 2017. The city's also requesting standard conditions, and that Mr. Jensen abide by court orders.
And Your Honor, there's no objection to standard.
I'm not gonna say he's uneducated or nuts. I think he's just I think he has an attitude problem, is what I think, and that comes out at the end.
Conditions, I would note the Linwood warrant. I'm not sure why they didn't look into that, but that was issued when he was in custody. I'm not sure why they didn't see that, but it looks like it was just issued a few days ago, and he has been in custody since the 30th. He indicates he is working now. He was working with the LEAD program. They have referred him to another program called the HOST program, which also deals with not only substance use, but mental health. And they are trying to get him into a bed date. He is asking the court to consider releasing him. I would note this is also, and I think Madam Clerk did note it in the docket, but this is a conflict for my office. We had a case with the alleged victim in this case.
And more dead air.
1,000 to 5,000.
So right
Yeah.
now, bail is currently set in the amount of 25,000, and the city is indicating a request for bail in the amount of 5,000. Is that correct?
I didn't get a prump out of that guy. Prump. Hi, Georgia Beach. Good to see you. And thank you so much. Trying to click on Monkey's gifted memberships, and I kept missing it. Thank you, Monkey, for the gifted memberships. And welcome to all the new members. Members Monday, 2 days from now. Also, Judge Slavin Monday night. Don't miss it.
I'm just looking right now.
Well, when in Nevada, I was here. Can I speak?
Give me just a moment, Mr. Jensen. I'm looking at something.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We want you to speak.
Apologies. The city requests to maintain bail in the amount of 25,000.
Here on Colin with Colin, we encourage all defendants to speak up. You probably shouldn't, but we encourage it. It's not that you probably shouldn't, just don't do it. Getting good. That's one of those phrases that I've been trying to teach myself not to say. The same as stuff. I don't think I've said stuff yet today. We got some good court stuff for you. There we go. Well, to be fair, that's not actually a true shout out. It's not. He had, all right, I'll tell you the story real quick. Hopefully I have time during this dead air. The defendant that he was talking to he did something with boats or docks, something in the water. And Judge Middleton has been waiting for that company, the company that the defendant worked for, to come, winterize his boat or do something with his dock. I'm not exactly sure. One of those two things. And the owner of the company his name is Colin. So Judge Middleton was saying, "Tell Colin I'm ready," because he's been waiting, and they were just really backed up with business. I'm sure there's about a 2 or 3 week period that has to be done, where you have to get your boat taken care of for the winter, maybe get your dock taken care of for the winter. One of the two things. But that's what he was saying. He said, "Tell Colin I'm ready." So no, it wasn't a true shout out. But I pretend it is. But I have told that story before. So whenever anyone says anything about it, I always correct them. I don't want people to think that he actually shouted me out. Oh, they're listening to me. They're absolutely listening to me. Yeah, I'm not going to say he gave me a shout out. I'm not going to say that. Just because if I ever do get a true shout out, I'm going to
Jensen,
replace
what I'm
it.
doing is looking at the Linwood docket right now to see.
Yes, the Slavin shout out was
I just
legit.
got a question on that 2017 one in Nevada. I was here in Washington when I was going through court on that. I was flying back and forth every other month to go to court, and I never missed a court date one. They
She
found me not
said-
guilty.
I think she indicated that they believed it's a conviction there, and
They found me not guilty.
Mr. Jensen is asserting that he was not guilty on the Nevada matter. I think that's an issue. Ms. Yell, do your documents show otherwise?
I was going based off the filing, but I'm reviewing the history report right now.
So,
Like I said, I was here in Washington. I was living in Washington when I got the charge, and I kept on flying back and forth and never missed a date one.
He's posing. He wants to show off those sweet guns. Check out the barbed wire tattoo. I mean, if you got a barbed wire tattoo, that means you're cool, so you got to show it off. All right, we're coming to the end of this one. You can already see his attitude building up. He's not happy. He just doesn't seem like a happy individual. This is probably what I looked like last night. I had my barbed wire tattoo exposed, and I was sitting sideways with the restful bitch face on my face.
So I'm reviewing the history right now, and for the domestic battery charge, it looks like there was a plea of guilty on October 6th of 2017.
Okay. But there was no battery, but it was all verbal. It wasn't, I didn't know at the time that I didn't physically harm her. I verbally abused her. Calling her names and stuff. But that's about it. I don't understand why this is.
So, Mr. Jensen, here's the situation from my perspective. All right. What I'm looking at is that Judge Befew in Linwood issued a no contact order telling you it's a judge's order not to have contact, right? That happened and I just want to make sure I have this.
25th. I was asleep at the bus stop when she approached me.
So hang on. Judge Befew entered that order when you were arraigned, and I just want to make sure I have this. She issued that on October 13th. Okay. Not talking about the facts of the case. What I have is that on November 25th, which is probably what you're talking about, you were arrested for a protection order violation and an assault, which has been charged in Superior Court in Snohomish County, and that case is pending. While that case is pending, you come before me with another violation of Judge Befew's order.
I was asleep.
On January 30th of this year. So regardless of what you've indicated as far as what's going on with this, the concern that I have, and I understand what you're arguing is with regard to the facts in my case. My concern.
Well, I'm gonna lose my bed date for my drug rehab and everything else.
My concern is there seems to be a disregard for court orders. However, I do note that you do seem to appear for court when you have cases pending. You haven't had much pending in Snohomish County.
I haven't had much court anywhere pending.
In Washington, yeah. So. So you put me in a tough spot, Mr. Jensen, because one side of me says you should be rewarded for showing up for court, and the other side of me says you don't follow court orders. So
where can I stay where I'm not going to run into her if I'm sleeping somewhere?
Well, Mr. Jensen, that's an easy answer for me. Right where you are. Right?
But it ain't right for me to be stuck here just because of that reason that she shows up or whatever. We run into each other, ever sleeping or something. I'm sleeping somewhere and boom.
So the reality is it is your responsibility, not hers. You're
okay,
the jail, which you see. And in this situation, I think that
I understand that it's my responsibility, but if I'm asleep.
Well, Mr. Jensen, it's unfortunate that evidently
you got to sleep sometime, you know.
Understood. So I'm going to set bail in this matter in the amount of $5,000. Should you post bail, you do need to notify the court in person or in writing of a change of mailing address. Have no new criminal law violations for which there's probable cause. Make an appointment with your attorney, make it to that appointment. They can't help you if you're not talking to them. Make it to your court dates, which I'm going to give you in just a moment. You will abide by any protective orders that are in place.
So am I going to get released or?
I'm setting bail in the amount of $5,000.
Well, I have no help me out. So.
All right.
I have no bail.
Well, I have made a finding that you are not in compliance with court orders and that you do not comply, and therefore I do believe bail is appropriate in the amount of $5,000. I'll set this matter for pretrial.
No, I want to go straight to trial.
We're going to set the matter for pretrial next week. Or the week after, Madam Clerk.
We can set it to next Thursday or Friday, Your Honor.
All right, so I will set this for next Thursday morning at 9:30 in the morning. It'll be transport like this. Mr. Jensen, your trial date will be in the March trial term, okay? So we'll see you then, all right?
And how am I going to get a hold of my attorney?
We'll give you
contact to anybody on any of these matters that I've been charged with. None of them.
Madam Clerk,
they have not contacted me.
Madam Clerk, which attorney are we assigning on this case?
Jamie Kim.
All right. So, Mr. Jensen, we will provide you with Miss Kim's contact information. You should be able to get a hold
I
of her.
am stuck in jail with no money on my books to call somebody. How am I going to get a hold of them?
It is my understanding that she will accept a collect call from you.
I can't because I don't have the money on my account to do it. They will not allow you to use the phone. It don't work that way at the jail. It will not let you dial out.
Mr. Jensen, we will advise Miss Kim that she has been appointed in this case. And I will, actually, you'll be brought over to court. It won't be me. It'll be a different judge next week. All right? So.
But when's my trial?
Your trial will be in the March trial term.
I want my trial right now, as soon as possible.
Your trial has been set within the parameters of the time for trial rule. And so it is set for the March trial term.
All right, Mr. Jensen.
That concludes the matter.
Oh man, he gave up way too early. I wanted to hear a bunch more. I want my trial right now. Remember the South sit today. Drop these charges today. I want my trial today. All right. I think there's one more clip, and then I've got a bonus one if you guys want to see it. It's the bonus one happened today. That one's a really tough case to watch though. I kind of made reference to it this morning, in this morning's premiere when I said the rough case right after the one that with the boxer. When the defendant comes up for his arraignment, he's a jerk. He's a jerk, but what happened is very difficult to hear. So you guys let me know if you want it. I understand if you don't, but it involves a child and a lot of physical harm to a child. Let's just say that. So if you want to watch it, we'll play it after this one. Oh yeah. Yes, Peach. Peach was there. It happened in WAP this morning. She was there. It's awful. It really is. But the dad being a jerk and then the judge put him in his place kind of makes it worth it, kind of, to watch it, but that's the only reason.
Let's see. How about Meadowbrook versus Renee Parks and Steven?
I mean, we can play it right now, and then we can play this pseudo Karen after if you want, so we don't end on the bad one. Would you rather watch it right now? Oh, I clicked the wrong one. I meant to click on this. Sorry. So I can play it now, and then we can finish on, like I said, a pseudo Karen. She's pseudo Karen-ish. All right, let me load that one up then. Do. Bonus.
Detroit.
Oh, that came in loud. I gotta turn the volume down. All right. I'm warning you. Trigger warning right now. So if anyone needs to leave, please do so.
Pearson Street, City of Detroit, and County of Wayne. Dakari Robinson, hereafter referred to as defendant, is the father of Dakari Robinson Jr., herefore referred to as a complainant. Location of incident is 1757 48219. Defendant scalded the complaint with hot water while giving the complainant a bath. On February 12th of 2024, law enforcement notification was sent over to the Detroit Police Child Abuse Unit in regards to a complaint being checked at the Children's Hospital with second and third degree burns throughout his body. On February 14th of 2024, police officer Markayla Moore and Detective Shatika Brown made the location of Children's Hospital, Michigan, to meet with Dr. Norrat in regards to the complaint, Dakari Robinson Jr. It was being housed there with severe burns. Dr. Norrat advised of his injuries sustained by the complainant. During the meeting, we were informed that the complainant had severe burns to his chest, abdomen, back, and thigh, bleeding on the brain, hemorrhaging behind the eyes, consistent with shaken baby, per Dr. Norad, a healing fractured rib, as well as a pectoral bruising, which Dr.
Yeah, we're all thinking the same thing the judge is. When the judge has to stop halfway through and say, "Oh my goodness," yeah, you know it's not going to be good during arraignment.
Norad stated was consistent with compressions or squeezing to the chest. On February 18th of 2024, complainant's mother, Desiree, D-E-Z-A-R-E-E, Foster, 217 of 97, came to Detroit Public Safety Headquarters for an interview. Police officer Michaela Moore and police officer Angela Rice spoke with Ms. Foster, who stated on February 11th of 2024, she left for work around 5 p.m. When Mrs. Foster left for work, she left the complainant along with her 5 other children in the care of the defendant. There were no other adults in the home at this time. Mrs. Foster works a midnight shift and is gone from the home between 5 p.m. and 6 a.m. and the defendant remains home with the children. Mrs. Foster then stated about 7:06 p.m. she received a video complaint sent by the defendant, which showed the complainant eating. At about 3:30 a.m. February 12th of 2024, Mrs. Foster received a FaceTime call from the defendant showing her the burns on the complainant's leg and stating that he didn't do anything but put him in a bath.
Go ahead.
Mrs. Foster stated that she immediately left work and went home. Mrs. Foster arrived home and then she wrapped the complainant in a blanket and took him to Children's Hospital. During the interview, Mrs. Foster showed me screenshots of messages that the defendant sent to her sister, Destiny Pack, on Instagram, which contained statements about the defendant not checking the water temperature and leaving the complainant in the bathroom unattended. A search warrant was drafted, signed, and submitted for the defendant's Instagram account, that grave digger. Results pending. Mrs. Foster also advised that she has experienced that the water in her home gets hot very quickly. On February 18th of 2024, following an interview with Mrs. Foster, evidence technicians were ordered to the location of 17574 Pearson Street in Detroit, Michigan, for photos. During this time, the water was tested by the evidence technician code 4712 with a thermometer, and it was discovered that after 60 seconds of running the hot water, the temperature reaches 131 degrees.
Whoa!
Yeah. Evidence technicians were also ordered to Children's Hospital to obtain photos of the complainant and his.
All right, it is your responsibility 100% to understand that if your water gets that hot, you don't put your child in it. When both of my girls were born, my ex-wife and I were drilled, like made sure we knew the dangers of bathing your child in hot water. And I mean, they told us at the hospital, they told us, the pediatrician, even my ex-wife's OBGYN, they were very adamant about us understanding that even if we think it's okay, it's still extremely hot to them. This is there is absolutely no excuse, especially if your water gets that hot.
Injuries. While at the hospital, I spoke with Dr. Proud and Dr. Janek, Janek, who provided updates in regards to the complaint's status. I was advised that the complainant had developed a septic infection as well as the respiratory and liver complications. During this time, there was uncertain that the complainant may succumb to his injuries. On February 20th of 2024, the complainant's maternal grandmother, Christina Pack, came to Detroit Police Headquarters for an interview. Mrs. Pack stated that on the day the incident occurred,
I do. I've got my own water heater in my apartment complex, so I'm sure not everyone does. So they might not be able to control it, but it's their responsibility to know how hot it gets. It absolutely is.
She went to 17574 Pearson Street to pick up the remaining 5 children. She stated that she observed the defendant pacing and acting strange. She also stated that she heard the defendant make statements about slipping or being caught slipping. On February 20th of 2024, the complainant's aunt, Destiny Pack, came to Detroit Public Safety Headquarters for an interview. Mrs. Pack was advised me that she had been receiving Instagram messages from the defendant. Mrs. Pack also stated that she was aware and his experience.
the burning might have been, accidental negligence, maybe. But if you rewind and hear everything that the doctors in the hospital said, all the injuries, there were far more injuries than just the burns. They were saying that there was a rib that was broken that was in the stages of healing. There was issues with the brain that showed evidence of shaking the baby. There's a lot of things that this poor child has endeavored in his short life so far.
The water gets at 17574 Pearson Street. On February 21st of 2024, forensic interviews were conducted of the 3 of the 5 remaining children. Videos are available for interview. The medical report, full medical records are pending due to the complaint still being hospitalized at this time. However, a medical report was received from Dr. Norrad. The injuries have been identified by Dr. Norrad as a non-accidental trauma. The medical report describes the following injuries: skull burns, subdural hematomas, bruising to the left temple, bacterial bruising to the chest and shoulder, and a healing posterior rib fracture.
Okay, I've heard enough. Okay. Court satisfied, probable cause been established. Oh, that poor child. All right, have a good one.
All right, Sir, can we request a high bond?
You can request anything you want.
I was advised or informed that the gentleman is
You want a high bond?
or tether.
All right. I will. I'll hear argument and make a ruling on that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, now we jump ahead to the arraignment, and I've already said it, but Dad's a dick. There is one point. Okay, I'll explain that later, but he is. Yeah, let's go.
It should be you carry. Yeah, come on. Stand right there, say your complete name, please.
Bakari Deshaun Roberts. Calling case number 240-559908. Right there. 240-5599-801. Houston, Michigan versus Dakari Robinson. Appearances, please.
Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
Jessica Schreiber on behalf of Mr. Robinson, for his formal reading, understands his constitutional rights and stands with.
Court tonight, go to people on behalf of your client. Argument, Mrs. Coyle.
Your Honor, in this matter, the people are requesting a $750,000 cash tether house arrest. The complaint in this matter is 7 months old. It is his child, his biological child. And at this point, the people are unsure if the complaint may die due to his injuries. But the doctors have indicated that he will suffer lifelong deformity as a result of the defendant's actions, allegedly. The allegations are such as that the defendant admitted putting the complaint in the bath. He had sent some text to his sisters, not checking the temperature of the water and leaving the complaint unattended. The allegations also reflect the doctor found injuries not due to accidental trauma, not consistent with the child sitting in a tub. The injuries consisted of severe burns to chest, abdomen, back, thigh, bleeding on the brain, hemorrhaging behind both eyes, consistent with shaking, notably a healing fractured rib, petechial bruising consistent with squeezing of the chest. The people also note that the defendant had a violation of probation arraignment in the Third Circuit for March 17th of 23. He was put on probation. He was sentenced to 2 years probation for a carjacking, receiving, concealing stolen property, a motor vehicle, and he received 2 years probation. Your Honor, based on the fact that he's on probation, he has no other criminal history, but the danger to the complainant or to other children, what has happened has been shown that he is a danger to the community. He also now has that prior carjacking, which is a violent felony. The people are asking for that high cash bond, tether house arrest, if he is able to make that bond.
Ms. Shad, does he have a alternative place to stay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Shad.
Yeah, this is why I could never be a defense attorney, and I know a lot of people are like this. I would say no argument, put him away. Not even gonna do it. Can't. I mean, even just where we're paused at, she's like, please don't make me do this. Please don't make me do this.
Your Honor, respectfully asking the court to consider a very high personal bond, and if the court is not inclined to do that without a tether, respectfully ask the court to allow him to go to work and work only, not to be around any minors. Lives with a mother, lifelong resident. These are allegations. He is employed at Amazon. He's been there for over 6 months, high school grad. They arrested him at his work on this warrant. He knows he needs to make it to all of his court dates. So respectfully asking the court to consider that bond, Your Honor.
Court haven't heard an argument as to bond. The facts of this case are very, very egregious. It is one thing to put, and there was some evidence tech in report information regarding how fast the scalding water was, but the injuries enumerated by Mrs. Coyle are far, far worse than just burns from the scalding water. I think his right hand has to be amputated, so he's got a deformity. This is just an egregious. Shut up,
sir.
I'm sorry. I didn't even know about all this stuff. I'm sorry. This is my first time hearing about it.
What did you say, sir?
I'm sorry.
You better get some act right.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that, sir.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Quiet.
Yes, I did. They ain't telling me nothing about my son.
Sir, anything you say right now can and will be used against you. Exercise your right to remain silent. Prosecutors on to all part of the record. For your own protection, please don't say anything.
As I was saying, these are egregious facts, and the injuries to the child is going to leave him with a lifelong deformity. And his injuries far, far surpass just scalding water. And so I do find you a danger to the children and to any minor children in the community. So I'm not going to go as high as Mrs. Coyle requested. $500,000 cash, no surety, no contact with any minors, GPS tether, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew to a home not located on Pearson Street. Bond redetermination hearing Monday. What's the 4th? Monday?
Yes.
Okay. Bond redetermination hearing 9 a.m. in front of Chief Judge McConaughey. I assume this is an unaffordable bond, Ms. Shive?
Yes, Your Honor. It is unaffordable.
Okay, so unaffordable bond hearing, determination hearing March 4th, probable cause March 11th, preliminary examination March 18th, both in front of Judge Sabri. Any questions regarding bond and or court dates? All right. Have a good day, Mr. Robinson.
So that means I gotta pay what?
$500,000.
No, what that means is step aside.
Why is he so?
I don't. What that means is step aside. Judge is not playing with this guy. He did give him $500,000. That is a lot lower than any of us were hoped for. But I'm not sure if you heard the defendant just now. He said, "Why is the judge so mean to me?" Yeah, we're all. If you were standing in front of any one of us, we'd all be treating you like that. But I told you, Dad's a dick, right? It's about to go down.
Hey, now that these motherfuckers wanna try to hold me like that, nigga, I ain't do shit to my
Bring him
motherfucking
back.
son.
Bring him back. Bring him back.
All right.
Bring him back.
See if the judge want him back.
Bring him back.
That shit bold as fuck.
Come on, White.
Shit bold as fuck, bro. I'm gonna pin this shit on me and I ain't do nothing.
Something you want to say to me, sir?
Bro, Your Honor, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or nothing, but
It's too late
honestly,
for
this
that.
is like a lot of this is being like this. All this is stuff is being thrown at me. I didn't know about. They wasn't telling me anything about my son. I was very on point about it. I was trying to let them know what was going on. I was trying to figure out what was going on.
That outburst cost you another $250,000. $750,000 cash, no surety, same conditions. Step aside.
What is his problem with me? I didn't even do nothing.
Come on, bro. Hey.
What is his problem with me? I didn't do nothing. Come on, man. And he doesn't even understand what he did. If he's sitting there saying, I didn't do nothing. All right. All right. We're going back to the next clip. We're going to go to our pseudo Karen. Let's see. This video is about 10 minutes. I'll probably pause once. But if you haven't hit the like and subscribed already, please do so. If you haven't done your jump kicks backflips already, please do so. And if you're really inclined and you want to help the Colin Beer Bunny for tonight, you can donate to the link tree. There's a little joke I put it this morning. I thought it was funny. All right, let's go.
This
Right
is
there.
Renee Parks. I'm here.
This Parks. Oh, there you are. We were at the top there. It's the first time up. Do you want to speak with legal services?
No.
No? Mr. Ingram?
Right now I'm showing a balance of 460.61 plus cost of 181. That puts it at 641.61. So do you have a plan to get that paid, ma'am?
No. Can I provide a statement, Your Honor?
All right, so you just heard it. She's like, "How do you plan on paying that?" No, I'm gonna make a statement. Now this is Karen-ish. Like I said, it's not a true Karen, but she's right there on the borderline. And also, thank you, Flying Monkey, for the donated memberships. Thank you so much, and welcome to all the new members.
Unless you want to have a hearing, guess we can do that if you want to do that.
No,
Or
I
is
just.
it- Go ahead.
I just- I'm sorry. I just wanted to make a statement. So, in my life, I might have had financial trouble, but I always have a nice place to live. Okay. And part of this is the person who promised me a lot of stuff no longer works there after I moved in. But I had my house up for sale and someone had an offer on it. So I moved into Meadowbrook. I first was looking at a house on the back street that you could buy for $25,000, and she was seeing if the park would buy it. And then they were like, no, we have one for the same price here with the garage and everything. So I made the deal with them. And then on the paperwork, it didn't say how much it was going to cost. And she kept, when I kept asking her, she kept pushing off. Well, then they said it'd be $39,000 because I had property I was going to put it on eventually. And I'm like, there's no way I would pay $39,000 for this house, but that's fine. And so then she said I was renting to own. Well, I don't see anywhere I'm renting to own. I'm just renting, and it's a lot of money. So then, so many things. So they promised that I'd have all new black appliances when I moved in. I've always lived in a nice place, always. And so the dishwasher and stove were brand new black, but there was an old dented refrigerator that leaks, and anything you put in the freezer like freezes to it. You can never get it out again. The hood had wires exposed. The hood isn't in. There's no heat run in the master bath, and it's got a skylight, so it's like it was too hot in the summer, too cold in the winter. It took a month to get the air conditioning fixed. We were so hot. It took 3 months to get the dishwasher hooked up so we could use it. I still have no fridge, no hood. Nobody told me the whole entire yard and garage floods.
Boy,
And
Ms.
so,
Parks,
yeah.
hold on. Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but boy, that's a whole litany of items. What,
And
Mr.
believe it or not, there's more. So this is what where I'm at.
Hold on. If we want to have a hearing, I guess we can stick it at the end. If you want to do it by yourself, if you want to talk to legal services, you can do that. Mr. Ingham, unless you've got some other suggestion.
It appears that she's asserting some defenses. Typically, when this sort of thing happens, because I was not aware of any of this, I would prefer to at least put it out a week so that my person from Meadowbrook can look into it and we can know exactly what's going on, get it addressed if necessary, and then deal with the money issue.
Okay.
Can I add one more thing, Your Honor? Even through all of this, I was on a payment plan and I was paying for 2 places until my house sold because it was postponed. And I had made all the payments and they sent me these eviction papers, which really upset me. I've never been evicted in my life and it freaked me out. So I have found another place to live. I will be out. I would ask you for a week to finish getting my stuff out, but I will be out of there. And the thing is, then when they kept calling me saying, you didn't make your, on the 16th was my last payment for $300 some. and I had every intention of making it, but they kept calling me. I said, why are you calling me when you evicted me? And then they put me on hold and come back and said, oh, yours was a mistake. Well, why would you tell me that? And they said it's been dismissed. So then I pulled up while I was on the phone with them in the computer, and it was not dismissed. So I wouldn't even have been here because they were trying to tell me it was dismissed.
Ma'am, may I ask, when do you plan on?
All right. Now you see why I call her a potential Karen. She's got a lot of complaints. Well, I mean, court is where you bring those up, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna let it play out. You guys all have a great evening. I will not be going live tonight, and so I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until next time, bye.
On vacating, because that would be one way to resolve this.
Yes, if I can have one more
Hey, thanks for the 3 months, Sally Port.
week, probably the next weekend. If you do it like the following Monday or Tuesday, over the next weekend, because I work full time, over the next weekend, I will have the remainder of the stuff cleaned out.
If you just need a week to leave and you actually do what you're saying you're going to do, then we would dismiss the case because we're seeking possession, money or possession. You either pay or you vacate. Okay.
No, vacate. I want to vacate. I already have had stuff out. I did find a place to live, a house. Like I said, I've always prided myself on living someplace nice. So
understood. If I put the
Thank you, Sally Port, for the 5 gifted memberships. Hold on. Let's summon my inner biggin. Sure do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sally, and welcome to the 5 new members.
to the 5th, would you be gone before that?
yes, I would.
Okay, I think we should just do that, Judge.
Okay, so ma'am, what we'll do, we're adjourning your matter to March 5th. And just as Mr. Ingram said, though, it sounds like if you're moved out entirely by that date, it sounds like they'll just dismiss the case.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Just be sure to turn in the keys and leave your forwarding address and all that normal stuff, okay? Because we don't have possession in the legal sense until you do that, okay?
Okay, yep, sure will.
Make sure you do that for me, okay, ma'am? Because that way at
I
least
sure
it's clean and everything's done, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right.
All right, bye-bye.